Is it really possible for a tiny tweak to your morning coffee routine to ignite your metabolism and put your body into full fat-burning mode for the rest of the day?
Check out the link in the video description now and transform your morning coffee into a metabolism-boosting super drink.
Despite mounting pressure from the Democrats to consider his political future after a car crash debate performance, Joe Biden seems to be staying firmly in the race, with Jill Biden stubbornly standing by his side. And her actions over the past 48 hours are clear that she is the one firmly pulling the strings over her husband's decision to stay in the race. She made it clear when she spoke to wealthy donors in New York on Friday night she knew how the debate was perceived, but said she told her husband the campaign would continue. "So let's talk about last night's debate, because I know it's on your minds," she said. As Joe said earlier today, he's not a young man. And after last night's debate, he said, "Jill, I don't know what happened. I didn't feel that great." And I said, "Look, Joe, we are not going to let 90 minutes define the 4 years that you've been president." The CNN performance where Joe Biden meandered through answers and lost his train of thought sparked an unprecedented panic in the party. Top lawmakers and operatives were immediately considering their options. But when Biden attended a rally in Raleigh, North Carolina, on Friday, he seemed like a different man. Jill Biden called it an amazing event. During it, he admitted his debate performance wasn't ideal, but insisted he is staying put in the race. The crowd of more than 2,000 cheered him on. His defiant announcement came alongside the one person likely standing between him and a potentially historic decision to step aside, his wife Jill. Even though she knows he had a bad night at the first presidential debate, she is standing stubbornly at her husband's side and fighting back against the fears he will lose November's contest to Donald Trump. The Bidens know he didn't have the best first debate, a source close to her told DailyMail.com. Is he the best person to be president, now and for the next 4 years? 100% yes. She's his wife of 47 years, she is his biggest supporter, biggest champion, and biggest believer. President Biden, 81, has the nomination locked up. The only way for the party to have a different nominee is for him to voluntarily exit the race. And the one person who can get him to do that is Jill Biden. It was only after her blessing he agreed to run for a second term. She is his closest advisor and the person he listens to the most. But Jill Biden is nowhere near the conclusion that her husband needs to exit the race. She said it herself at a rally in Raleigh, North Carolina, the day after the debate. Wearing a dress repeatedly emblazoned with the word "vote," she told the crowd, "We don't choose our chapter in history, but we can choose who leads us through it." And at this moment, with these perils the world is facing, there is no one that I would rather have sitting in the Oval Office right now than my husband. And, in the aftermath of the debate, she praised Joe Biden lavishly, even as many Democrats were banging their heads about his fumbling debate performance. "Joe, you did such a great job answering every question. You knew all the facts," she told him at a gathering with supporters. Many called her out of touch with the night's events. What her words showed, however, was the weight she carries with the president. She is the one Joe Biden turns to reassurance. She is the one that can act as a balm to his wounded pride. It is now a question of what she will do next. Jill Biden has intervened before when she thought Joe Biden wasn't being served well by his advisors. After his first disastrous press conference, she walked into a staff meeting and demanded to know who was responsible for the event and why it wasn't put to a stop. At his next press conference, she sat in a chair front and center, taking charge. The question is, what will she do now? Will she push for changes at the campaign? Will she call for staff to be fired? Will she put Joe Biden in public more? Or will she urge the White House to continue to use stage-managed events and keep him surrounded by aides? The full fallout in the Biden inner sanctum remains to be seen, but Jill Biden will front and center of what comes next. She will likely emerge from this with more power than ever in the White House. She is the one who sees Joe Biden the most, even in the most private moments. She is the one who truly knows his health and mental state. She is the